In a crisis, how do you suggest people decide who to help and how much to give without jeopardizing? Don't help anybody, LWJX. No one. Were they there while you were prepping? If you give them, are they going to go away or are they going to come back? That is a fucking stray dog. How many stray dogs do you want? If we're talking crisis, are we talking your neighbor's house got blown down by a tornado, or we're talking without rule of law, electricity's spotty, if even on, right? Because that's a whole nother situation. Are you killing bad guys and just fucking burying them or feeding them to your dogs? We're not calling law enforcement anymore. We're handling our law enforcement issues ourselves. We're not helping anybody. If you weren't here and you don't pre-staged have shit here, you're not fucking welcome. Unless you're a fucking surgeon, or you know how to make anesthesia, or you have some fucking skill, right? If we haven't had this conversation early, you're not welcome. That's why we moved where we live. You're not, like, even people that are supposed to come here won't be able to get here if they're not here. Yeah, they'll want your things. And you better have a plan at that point to kill everyone you come in contact with. That doesn't mean intent. That means have played that in your head. What does that look like? How will you do it, right? Because when you send them away, what's going to happen is they are now disgruntled. The people that used to be your friends know the things that you've done and the time you spent, right? While they were in fucking France on vacation, you were home with a shovel in your garden, right? You did other things for the future of your family while they worked all year to spend a week in Florida, right? What will happen is you will have the have-nots will hoard up and try to take from the people they perceive to have what they need or want. It's the exact same thing that happens right now. It'll just happen on a much larger scale. The people who have things, money, jewelry, fancy things, shit hits fan. So, Greg, I like to say, people are like, how is your event different? Well, our event is, people came here anyways, right? We would have parties and have 900 people show up literally from around the world. People would fly to Nashville and drive to Camden, Tennessee from Ireland, Australia, Germany, Finland, Japan, China. Like, dudes were coming here from China for the parties and to train attack response. So they were already here. So when all the COVID stuff was going on, we never locked down. There was never an option where they were going to shut us down. We weren't going to let them. We continued to do all our shit, and we had a party, a get-together, and 250 people showed up. But they wanted to see all the homesteading stuff. And what I say is, there's two kinds of homesteaders. And this is very, black and white, right? You have homesteaders that are so busy homesteading, and they don't want to work, and they want to live life on their terms. They have spent their entire life moving towards being on a homestead, and now that they're on a homestead, they never leave the homestead. They produce almost everything they need. They're able to barter for everything else, and they can do side jobs to make the money they need when they need money, right? So you have dirt poor homesteaders, and then you have friends, or you have the opposite side, right? I have friends who have done and succeeded so well in business that they make enough money to literally do anything they want, and they choose to homestead, and they're highly prepared and highly skilled, and they train all the time. Their entire families train, and that's the opposite end, right? So how do we mash those guys together? How do we put those guys together in the same room? And that's what Self-Reliance Festival is. We've brought all the tactical guys in who didn't know how to homestead, and we brought all the homestead guys in that didn't know all the tactical stuff, right? How many guys, a lot of homesteaders, they're not pacifist, but they're definitely not, they don't have a plan to kill everybody they come in contact with, right? Well, I'm out in the middle of nowhere. Nobody's going to get here. Nobody's going to steal my corn. But you're sorely mistaken. It's not their corn that they're going to come for. They're going to come for your wife and your daughters. And they will. The sex trade now is through the fucking roof. Imagine if there's no law enforcement, what's going to happen? They're going to come for your women. And then as a byproduct, just for hatefulness, they're going to burn all your shit down. They don't want your tractors. They just don't want you to have them. So you need to have a plan.
I'm talking about realest, one of the realest to try. My family, SOE, got the tools to survive. Yeah.